Hey y'all, welcome back. We just got done working up a new, I guess we'll call it an L tube, C tube instead of a U tube. But this being the VL 125 pipe that came with, this is the VL bottom end that I modified to RVS standard to take the RVS reed cage. We are using it's actually a smaller pipe. On a homologation sheet, you'll see a total volume of the pipes, and they'll give you every dimension, every length and every diameter on each end, so you can build the pipe yourself. Crazy thing is with the VL, the original U-tube looked like this. I actually changed it to fit the cart to look like this, but the VL of the three engines I have, had the smallest total volume of pipe. All right, total volume. So its pipe was just this 1-inch tubing. As you can see here with the later models, this being the RV XX, it goes from a 1-inch to an inch and something metric. Actually, it's metric to metric, but it actually gets bigger halfway down. So making some phone calls and talking to some CIK shifter cart guys. I know the U-pipe is not on the homologation sheet, so it's not a homologated bit. So I guess you can screw with it. I mean, you guys that run vintage, that have a slippy pipe, I mean, I was a slippy pipe guy for a long time. You know what shortening that tube does. First, it adds more heat to your motor. It's like nitrous when you run out of gear and start getting on it. It takes off like a crazed monster. But I've actually tried with this VL pipe that was originally 13 inches long. I cut this much of it off at a test a long time ago to see what top RPM would do, what heat would do. It really, that inch I took with the blade width and everything or whatever it was, didn't really make much difference at all. Now this being the RVXX pipe, the RVS pipe, the one between this one and this one, was also a 2-stage pipe. This is what I cut off of it, and I marked it on here so you could see what's going on. And then what I did is I took a piece of pipe that fit inside the tune pipe and hooked it up so it's the right length. It's for that particular pipe, it's 13 inches long. For the RVS, it's actually 14 inches end to end. And for the double X, which is again an even bigger volume pipe in homologation, it's another inch longer. It's actually 15 inches long. So I spent some time talking to some engine guys, reputable engine guys, and they said if they played with it at all, they haven't really noticed much difference. They leave it up to the cart engine owner. They don't suggest that they mess with it for the most part. They keep the basic OEM or standard pipe size and volume that comes with the motor, and they just do their work inside the engine. So that's what I've been doing. We had to change. Let me take you back over to again. We had to change the mount for the silencer because it's sitting up a little higher. It's a little different, obviously with the extended bumper. So just got done with all that. Like I said, we've checked over everything because we found the grunkus in the filter area here. We changed the fuel filter just because. So new tanks, new, everything new, good and clean, new air filter. We did a little damage to the top of this piston. This piston was brand new before Gingerman. Plating on the cylinder, brand new, virgin. New reeds and new clutch. We hurt the reeds. We chipped a reed, and we put some little particles of metal in the squish band of the head and on the top of the piston because I reused the same air filter without thinking from when the lower rod bearing went out at MIS on the other motor. So there you go. Puff Daddy just taught you a lesson. If you lose a rod bearing in a motor, throw the air filter away and make sure you clean the exhaust out the pipe real well if you're going to use the same pipe. Any grunt that's in your pipe when you first fire up a motor, it can actually, before it fires, you're getting, it's like a pump, air pump in and out, so you could actually suck crap in, before you actually blowed it out. So there you go. I said blowed it out, y'all. So there you go. We're ready to put a flush to the system. You see the water here that we drained out after putting it in that last video. Still has a little tinge of antifreeze in it from the winter. We didn't want to blow the bottom of this one off again, right? So the motor probably still had a little bit of water in it, or antifreeze in it. So we'll go ahead and we'll we'll push it out in the yard and put the garden hose in the tank, flip the switch on, and just blow the stuff out into the street or whatever and down into the drain. It can't be that bad. We just want to rinse it all out real good before we fill it up with water and get the motor started and all that stuff. But from here, we just need to flush all the brake fluid out with new brake fluid because we're on dot 5. First time you want to run your cart on dot 5 after living in the north where it gets cold, especially if it gets freezing cold. The dot 5 silicone based. It's going to collect water. It's going to attract the moisture. Your brakes will work, but your pedal will travel. It'll get spongy and it'll make your noochies wrinkle up. We don't need that, fellas. Not at our age. So we just what I do is I put a big tube on here with a big syringe, and I just crack everything with tubes on and it just flows right out. We call it push and brake fluid, but it actually just gravity feeds. And we'll let it run. We'll put a whole fresh bottle, a whole pint of fluid through everything and just run it all out. Our brakes will be good and ready to go. At that point, I guess we can start snapping the body back on. We're gonna, do the water and get the motor running and all that stuff. But we're just about ready. We're just about ready for Grattan. It's over 80 degrees. You see the temperature here is 90 degrees in the garage. I think it was supposed to be 82, 84 today. First real warm, hot day. I'm out there cutting grass, sweating my you-know-what off, and it felt good. That's what we up here in Michigan put up with long, cold winters for, so we can sweat our noochies off in the summer. So we get fat in the winter, and we start to lose it in the summer, right? Well, that's it. That's all we got for you today. Maybe we'll bring you some video as we start it up and get it running and all that. But lesson learned, right? Get rid of your air filter when your lower rod bearing goes and make sure your pipe is absolutely positively clean. We really could have done some damage to an absolutely virgin chrome job in piston, and luckily it was just some chipped reed and some stuff in the top of the motors there. So it was easily cleaned up. We went through everything and made sure she's good to go. So fingers crossed. We give blood at the hematologist in a couple of days. Doesn't matter what he has to say. We're escaping ourselves from the medicine, and we're going to run the guts out of this thing up at Grattan and prove out this double radiator thing and see if adding the extra radiator is going to fix our problem of overheating, which I'm absolutely convinced it's going to do. So you're going to see happy videos from Grattan. That's it. Godspeed. God bless. Check in next time. We'll have something stupid, silly, and crazy for y'all. To Randy and Mr. Giles and the rest of y'all, brothers in Christ, thanks for praying for me. I appreciate it. I love, love, love the idea that guys my age and older can walk up to me and say, Robert, I watch these videos and I'm sharing in your grief with you and I'm praying for you. So it's nice to know that I'm not just talking to a plastic box. All right, God bless. We love y'all. We're praying for you. Pray for me. We'll see you next time from RPM headquarters. Hasta la vista, baby.